It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning, Bahamas, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I am your host, Davriel Gardner. I'm missing my partner in crime today, Mr. Mark Daniels. He's not feeling well, so we just want to send all of our thoughts and prayers out to him, but we're still going to have a good time anyway. The month of March has been a very exciting month just in terms of events. I'm remembering that last weekend I actually went to a food and wine festival at Atlantis, and I didn't get to share about it. So I do want to send my kudos out to the team who created the Atlantis Food and Wine Festival. I actually went to another pop-up market yesterday, and it's been great to see all of the local events that we have going on in the month of March. I am looking forward to a very special local event on this fantastic Friday that I'll be going to as soon as I leave here. I'm going to take this opportunity to shout out some of my dear friends, Samuel Campbell Jr., as well as Nia Rolle, who will be getting married this weekend in Freeport, Grand Bahama. And I want to take this opportunity to wish them the absolute best. We have a great show for you today on this fantastic Friday. We're going to talk with Dr. Vincente Roberts about an innovative therapy program, and we'll find out what the Kidney Center is doing in Grand Bahama for Kidney Month. Jeffrey Simmons is here to explain the significance of World Meteorological Day, and Quincy Parker is going to tell us how we can improve our public speaking. TCL wants you to save the date for the Eleuthera Business Outlook coming up on Thursday, April 20th at the Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce Business Hub in Rock Sound. The conference will be hybrid, and you can join virtually or in person. Stay tuned for more information. And if you know anything about me, you know that I don't need a very good excuse to go to Eleuthera. These outlooks are an excellent opportunity to travel to our family islands, to get to know business owners from all walks of life, and they are enriching opportunities. So you definitely want to sign up if possible. Like I said, we have a great show in store for you today, but first we'll have a check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Deborah, and good morning, Bahamas. Get back here soon, Mark. Restore yourself, heal yourself. We'll see you on Monday. In your first look at the weather at sunrise, ridge of high pressure down by the feature, so you're looking at a lovely day in store weather-wise, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, your high temps reaching 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around on the mild side, your low going down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 85 and 75. In Jamaica, 87 and 75. In Trinidad, 88 and 72. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 86 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta, 81 and 62. In Boston, 50 and 37. In Miami, 85 and 71. Dallas, Texas, 79 and 55. And Toronto, Canada, 39 and 33. As we go to the weekend, that high pressure continues to be the dominant of the feature with stable, dry, and warm conditions. So you're going to lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, though temperature daytime will be in the mid-80s at night time, in the upper 60s, lower 70s, but there's a cold front that we'll watch on Wednesday. That's what you're up on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. Bahamas as Therapy is an innovative approach to therapy, using everyday Bahamian activities as therapeutic experiences. Here to talk with us about this is Dr. Vincente Roberts, psychologist and associate professor at the University of the Bahamas in Health Services. How are you today, Doc?
I am good, thank you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. It's always good and a pleasure to be here.
So it's not quite the elephant in the room anymore, but it's one of those things that really shaped our lives. How did COVID affect the Bahamas?
COVID is still affecting the Bahamas. You just need to go out to the beach any day and you will see many people who are still in cognitive zone. They're here, they're looking dazed, they're just having problems generally self-regulating and centering themselves. And so it's really affected their balance.
So talk about this concept of the Bahamas at therapy, because at a glance it seems to make a lot of sense to me, but I want to understand what that's like on a practical level.
Okay, on a practical level, we had to find a way in COVID to bring mental health to the people at home. So there wasn't the sense that you always needed a practitioner to help you, but there are certain things that you can do, certain personal things that you can do that could be helpful. One of the things that we do all the time as mental health practitioners is center ourselves, to regulate ourselves. We monitor our thoughts, our feelings. We monitor generally overall well-being. And we have to find a way of constantly keeping our finger on ourselves and our response to things that we are seeing and experiencing. So if we can get people to understand how to keep your finger on themselves, then Bahamas at therapy makes a lot of sense. Because in reality, simple things like these things, coconuts. Bahamas at therapy is interested in people seeing the usefulness in everything, the pointedness of all things, straight to the heart of the matter, in a context where a fist matters with the right finger raised and the matter of the heart. So what is going on with your heart right now? What's happening with your heart? You're not gonna answer me. What's the most pointed thing that's on your mind right now? I know what it is. You talked about it this morning when you came in. I'm not gonna share that.
I appreciate it.
And the third thing is, really, what is the one thing that is most significantly driving you, that's keeping you anchored? These are the kinds of things that matter in self-regulation, in the process of centering yourself in a COVID context, because everything is out of whack. And the reality is we need things to be in whack. All right? So we have to find a way of ensuring that we kill the devils in our lives. This is a picture of my book that I'm going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And it says, the day the devil died, he gives strength to the weary. But it's built on the principle of an octopus. I don't know if you know anything about the octopus, but the octopus has 9 brain-related pieces, so the head and the tentacles, all are brains. Then they have 3 hearts. Okay.
I didn't know that.
They have 3 hearts. They shoot off, they hover, they camouflage, what have you. So this is segue to something else that I'm about to launch. As Bahamas as therapy, we had to find a way of engaging the common person around mental health. So we came up with an Octopus Lifetime Award and a Conch Lifetime Award. The Octopus Lifetime Award initially was presented to Dr. Timothy Barrett posthumously, and he was given a certificate from us because for us, Dr. Barrett exemplified an adapter. The octopus was an adapter in every form and fashion. As an athlete, as a professional athlete, and then as a mental health practitioner, he lived his life in a way that he exemplified adapting in every way. The next recipient of this award will be John Gomez from Cable, Bahamas.
I know him very well.
We decided to give John this because one day I passed John's house and I saw John outside raking his yard. And that was so impactful for me. I said, John, you clean your own yard? He said, yes, I do. This is my therapy. So Bahamas is therapy wants to acknowledge John Gomez. This is John Gomez's octopus.
Okay.
This will hang on his wall. Hopefully he keeps that. But he also gets to hang this on his wall.
That's beautiful.
This was done by a patient at Sandwich, belongs to a psychiatrist colleague of mine. But we're integrating it into this engagement strategy around Bahamas as therapy. Which eye is watching you most right now?
Oh, yeah, that'd be me. I want to be like this one.
Oh, this one. Okay, that's like what you're about to do, right?
Okay.
For the day. But enjoy what you're about to do. Excellent.
I love it. So the Bahamas as therapy concept, the experiential angle on therapy,
Yes.
this seems to relate to a lot of, do I want to say grounding by interacting with nature?
Yes. In fact, grounding is a very interesting term because, as you know, all of us have been grounded to the earth.
Yeah.
The best thing that you can do is take off your shoes and be barefooted, and you will recognize that, hey, listen, that's the way that connects you right back to where you're supposed to be. But anyway, because that's where we're going to end up, and that's where we came from.
I want to say as well, on a personal level, I've found that going to the ocean, looking at the ocean, swimming in the ocean, feeling the water on my skin, those are things that really do help me to attain a sense of peace, to the point where I remember a few weeks ago, I was feeling very anxious and oververwhelmed, and my husband, he just looked at me, he was like, let's go swimming.
It's the eyes of your husband that did that.
Knew.
So the eyes is what regulated you. And what you talked about was so important. Bahamas is that the eyes of your own husband, not any other eyes, the eyes of your own husband. That's important. Know your husband's eyes.
Absolutely.
That's Bahamas' therapy.
So you have some more events planned for the course of the year. What does that look like?
Well, first of all, we are going to create a banquet where we're going to actually present these things. So I expect that, I told John I had this for him, but I'd like to present it to him formally. We have another award called the Conch Award for Service Providers. That was presented to a gentleman by the name of Dr. Sterling Gardner, former head of school psychological services, a partner of mine, and Sterling is a veteran probably the best male psychologist that we have in the country. No, the best psychologist that we have in this country. Has been around for almost 30 years. Everybody is in high demand. He's probably the expert in psychological assessments in the country. I don't know a better psychological assessor in this country. So Sterling, you got it, man. And so Bahamas Therapy has decided that it's even going to look at a zoned area at the University of the Bahamas. I'm a professor at the University of the Bahamas, and we've already started talking with our physical plant people about zoning an area in this post-COVID space that goes from the pond straight back to the libraries outside of the library. It includes the eating area. And what will happen in that area is when you enter that area, you're going to take special attention to talk to the people that are in that area with you. So it's touching bases, because people right now are feeling disjointed, disconnected, and needing connectedness. And that's what we found. People need people. Okay, Bahamas as therapy. We need it.
So if somebody wants to start embracing the Bahamas as therapy, do they get in contact with you or your office?
Sure.
Or what does that look like?
Many persons are now calling us in reference to coaching opportunities, because we want to move this idea of disease to wellness.
Yeah.
So the wellness side is about growth and coaching. So we are actually right now trying to share a group of positive psychological inventories that measure things like happiness, grit, hardiness, those kinds of things. And they could be used anywhere. So we've shared them with guidance counselors, we've shared them with pastors, we've shared them and these are validated instruments that could be used by anyone. So people can call me at, my number is 437-2311, or try and get me through the university. I do have an email address. It's Vincente Roberts, Vicente Roberts, Roberts, at ymail. Why me? Ymail.
I love it.
.com.
I love it. We are out of time, but that was a fantastic conversation. I'm so curious and really inspired by what you're doing. So congratulations to you and your team.
Well, we thank people like you who are sunrise oriented, and because it's when we see people like you doing what you do every day with the kind of attitude that you do, Bahamas as therapy is in you already. You got the spirit, and I may engage you to, be a part of this whole process.
I would be very excited.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Wouldn't it be satisfying to own your own piece of paradise? The most important investment you can make in your life is real estate, and Fidelity has the solution for you. You could become the owner of a home or a lot on any of our beautiful islands. Come and talk to a loan officer and inquire about how you can fund your goals with a loan today. Because we know it means a lot to own a lot. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit any of our branches. Or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back. The Kidney Center in Freeport serves its patients diligently. March is Kidney Month, and so Bahamas at Sunrise visited the Kidney Center in Grand Bahama last week to get an update. Our Suzette Parker has that story.
March is National Kidney Month, a time to bring awareness to kidney health and to encourage people to take care of their renal health. We stopped in at the Kidney Center in Grand Bahama to learn more about the disease and the vital work the center does.
What is kidney disease? Kidney disease can be described as a progressive deterioration of the kidney function. It happens over years, months and years. Each kidney has about 1 million to 2 million functional units called nephrons. And when they are injured or damaged in any way, unfortunately, the type of cells that they're made up of, they do not regenerate. And so that leads us to kidney disease. There are different causes. It can be acute. This damage can happen acutely, very suddenly, trauma or some toxic substance that you've taken, or it can also happen over a period of time, and that's called chronic kidney disease. That's the type that we frequently see here at the Kidney Center. The cause of that is most likely secondary to hypertension and diabetes, uncontrolled, of course.
It definitely is a serious problem, and right now we have about, 125 patients. And I'm sure that's just patients that we know have this problem. A lot of persons are still experiencing a little issues, and sometimes we have denial, or we want to wait and see if God intervenes. So with those patients not even being in our numbers, it's a major problem. For such a small island, that's a high number.
There is comprehensive treatment for those with kidney disease.
So if you have kidney disease, there are basically 3 types. You can do hemodialysis, what we do. You come here 3 times a week, anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5 hours. That's weekly for the rest of your life. Because, hey, the kidneys, they function, every day, 365 days of the year, no days off. So you're just getting, the bare minimum. Another option would be to get peritoneal dialysis. It's similar, but not quite, whereas the access point for the fluid exchange is through the abdomen. And then finally, the most ideal one would be, to get a kidney transplant.
The Kidney Center helps its patients manage their disease, stay healthy, and also educates them about their condition.
Managing kidney disease requires a team. So it's not just 1 or 2 persons. So our team comprises of our patient. Our patient is our team leader. They direct us. And the team is also comprised of our physicians, our nephrologists, our internal medicine doctor, our nurses, our technicians, our wonderful support staff, and dietitian, and our social worker. Because any chronic illness is mentally challenging, and so having our social worker on staff, as well as our staff who is educated on how to support patients psychologically, and we also educate them on how to stay well, because having kidney failure doesn't mean that one is ill. One is ill and got them here. And so now we have to keep them healthy. And so we educate them on how to go about staying healthy, and we also see them on a regular basis. So we have doctors who come around and see our patients at least once, twice a week, so that we can manage those other illnesses quickly.
The major thing that they need to understand is fluid removal, how much fluid they're allowed to take in, and then we teach them in terms of how much fluid we're taking off. Also a lot of dietary restraints. We teach them about how they need to stay away from foods that might increase potassium or phosphorus, and also like bone health, which is a major part of it as well. So we educate them on stuff to stay away so that they can maximize the bone health that they have.
The Kidney Center hosted many activities for Kidney Month.
For Kidney Month, we started off with a church service. So we worshipped corporately at St. Jude's in Smiths Point. And so that included the staff and the patients, and that was very well attended. Then we had a candlelight memorial. So we've been having a candlelight memorial in recognition of those persons who would have passed with kidney disease for the past 4 years. And that was Thursday, March 9th. And then we also had our community outreach, where we went out to the public in the schools and in the public spaces to educate them and to bring an awareness about kidney disease. Also, we had our annual kidney walk held on Saturday, March 11th, where we walk together, because exercise is an important part of keeping healthy. So we walked together March 11th at 6:30, and that too was well attended.
The Kidney Center in Grand Bahama is doing important work.
The work that we do here at the Kidney Center in Grand Bahama, we save lives. It's not meant to brag, but the change that you see from an ill patient to a well patient, it never ceases to blow my mind. And of course it's something that can be prevented if you just take care of yourself, take care of your body, your hypertension, your diabetes, watching what you eat, watching what you drink, exercise, the smoking, you know, we gotta cut all of those things out.
Well, the work of the Kidney Center is life-saving, so I think that is very important. And we help to prolong our patients' life. Not everybody will be fortunate to get a transplant, so while they are here, we help to keep them at their optimal level of health so that they can be there for their families.
Persons diagnosed with kidney disease can still have a meaningful life.
Being on dialysis is not a death sentence. You plan more because you have to plan if you want to travel. You know, you have to have your schedule when you go to work to fit dialysis into your schedule. So it just takes a little bit of planning, but you carry on as normal. You can swim, you can exercise, you can travel, you can have kids, you know, you can enjoy life.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Suzette Parker.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
It's been a fantastic Friday so far on Bahamas at Sunrise. Of course, we are missing our co-host, Mark. He's not feeling well, so just once again, you can send your thoughts and prayers to him and hope that he gets well soon and is back to join us on Monday. So our first segment, of course, was about healing your mind through experiential therapy throughout the Bahamas. And we have so many beautiful natural resources. I was thinking about the fact that natural beauty, taking a walk, you know, feeling the sand between your toes, feeling the breeze on your skin, these are things that are actually scientifically recommended to help in your mental health journey. And we have just a plethora of resources at our disposal. You can walk on the beach, you can walk through a garden, you can literally go and clean your yard and experience nature and go outside and squish your toes in the soil. So there's so many ways that you can take advantage of the Bahamas as therapy. So if you plan to do something today, can you leave a little note in the comments saying what it is that you're planning to do and then how it makes you feel. Of course, we also spoke with the great folks at the Kidney Center talking about healing your body and the things that you can do to remain well. Coming up in our second half, we're going to talk with the Bahamas Met Office about World Meteorological Day. And Quincy Parker is here to talk about his event, The Secret Sauce, Public Speaking Demystified. But now we'll take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, that ridge of high pressure continues to dominate the weather across the islands. So you have a lovely weekend still weather-wise. You can expect no rain, warm temperatures, and stable conditions. In your marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas. Easterly at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Still have a caution posted because you have some swells. Those swells after about 7 to 8 feet. On Saturday, winds southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet northwest and central Bahamas. East to southeast at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. And then on Sunday, continue southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest and central Bahamas. East to southeast at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 10:35 this morning. Next low tide will be at 4:45 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 11:03. Sunset 7:22 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 7:08. UV index 8. Your water temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase, no moon. External look, that high pressure system will dominate the weather over the weekend. So you're looking at some lovely weather over the weekend, except for the track and field, the nationals, and the Grifter trials, and also any kind of outdoor activity. You have a great weekend, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures. The temperature daytime will be in the mid-upper 80s daytime, at nighttime in the upper 60s, lower 70s. We do have a cold front that moves through sometime late Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. That will increase our cloudiness this Tuesday into Wednesday with some showers, possible thunderstorms, and then those temperatures take a slight dip on Thursday into Friday into the upper 70s daytime and the low to mid 60s at nighttime. That puts Robbie and Fan look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. World Meteorological Day 2023 will focus on the theme, the future of weather, climate, and water across generations. Here to talk with us about this is Jeffrey Simmons, Acting Director at the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Good morning, Mr. Simmons, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us this morning.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about the significance of World Meteorological Day.
Well, it all started on March 23rd, 1950, when the World Meteorological Organization came into being. And so we celebrate on that date, March 23rd, every year, meteorological services around the world celebrate World Meteorological Day. And every year we have a theme that's appropriate for the time and the season. And this year, our theme, like you said earlier, is the future of weather, climate, and water across generations. So this year we are focusing on more preserving the environment for our future generation.
Yeah.
Okay. We know that right now our planet is under attack by climate change.
Yeah.
And we know that there need to be some changes in the way we do things globally, especially when it comes to our environment. And if we don't pull back on the emissions that we put out there every year, then our future generation will not have a future when it comes to water, especially water. Water is something that is really being challenged globally, especially for residents in least developing countries and small islands like the Bahamas. And so what we decided to do as meteorologists globally this year is to sensitize the world and put the message out there that, hey guys, we really need to change the way we do things on our planet.
So when you actually celebrate World Meteorological Day, what does that look like? Do you host seminars? Do you have parties? How does that actually manifest?
Well, every Met service around the world do their own thing. I'm here in the Bahamas. Occasionally, we put things out there. This year, we did a press release that we put out, and then we try to get around, like doing things like this to sensitize our public to the Department of Meteorology and who we are and what we do, and also to help to spread the message from the World Meteorological Organization that it's time that we really begin to seriously look at taking care of our environment and our planet.
Why is the conversation about climate change and about preserving the environment particularly important for those of us who are in the Bahamas?
Well, one of the major issues when we look at climate change, one of the results, if we don't pull back the way we do things, is sea level rise. The Bahamas, it's basically it's a group. It's just an archipelago of flat islands, highest point 126 feet, and so if sea level rise continued the way it would go into the future for the next century, most of our islands would be underwater. Okay, and that is something that have been researched, have been studied, and it's out there. And so for the Bahamas, climate change is very important for us, that we get the rest of the world to understand this. We've seen in hurricanes, we've seen what Hurricane Dorian could have done. what it did.
What it did, yeah.
Right? and also, and we know that, and the talk was out there from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that a Dorian was coming some 20 years ago.
Wow.
And so we talk about, we talk about the intensification of these systems, which we are now seeing and which we are now experiencing today. And we are not only seeing it here in the Bahamas, but we're seeing it throughout the Caribbean. We are seeing it throughout small island states around the globe. And we are all, the Bahamas, you know, we are not like most small island states. A lot of them have mountains. We don't even have hills.
Yeah.
Okay? So the sea level rise is something that can seriously impact us.
Yeah.
And that's why, as a nation, we need to get out there in the global arena as much as we can and let our voices be heard. That, hey guys, we're here, and if things don't change, we are in danger of losing our home, and we will have nothing to leave to our future generations.
So I think there seems to be a disconnect for a lot of people between the things that they do on a daily basis and the impact that that has on climate change. What are some things that we can do individually and as a collective to help preserve our environment?
Well, one of the things, you know, here in the Bahamas, we still rely a lot on fuel for our energy. So we need to conserve our energy in our homes. We need to conserve our water. Be careful the way we use these things. Now, as a people, we need to seriously begin to consider the type vehicles that we use. EVs, electrical vehicles, are now something that's coming in popular, and we need to look at getting them. We need to look at investing more in solar energy. We have over 300 days of beautiful sunshine every year, and it's tons of energy that we are allowing to go to waste. We need to look at getting into solar energy so that we can capture some of this energy from the sun and use instead of burning the fuel. It's the fuel burning, the emissions, that's what's creating the problem. Here in the Bahamas, what we produce in terms of emission globally is minuscule. It's very small, but still we can do our part. And then, you know, we don't want to go to the larger nations and say to them, guys, you need to cut back when we are not doing something also. So maybe, you know, yes, we need to get out there, set an example, show that this is what we need to do, and we would like for you guys to seriously consider it, and it would cut back on the emissions. It would cut back on global warming and mitigate sea rise and all of that. And so therefore, we would all be in a better position. Because we are saying to the world, we love these islands. This is our home. We got it from our parents, and we would love to give it to our children. And that's the message we want to put out there.
So I'm going to switch gears. Weather prediction is something that has certainly evolved over the years. How have advances in technology made weather predictions more accurate?
Oh, it has a lot. When I first started in meteorology 40 years ago, we didn't have computers to work with. So now,
That's a big difference.
So now, you know, we are fully computerized. We depend on the internet for our work. We have the models. Meteorological weather models have been created over the years. And the thing with models is that the longer they work and run, the more accurate they become. So even myself, when I first started really seriously working with models a few decades ago, I've seen the improvement in the models, in the accuracy. And as meteorologists, you know, we learn that because there are various different models, each model will have their own bias. So you get to know the models, and then from that you sit down, you do your work, you do your research, and then you come up with a good forecast as accurate as possible. We're not 100% as yet. I have a strong feeling we're going to get there eventually, maybe sometime after I'm retired.
I love it. This year, it seems like we had quite a bit of, I don't want to call the weather schizophrenic, but it's been bipolar a little bit. It's been going this way, that way. We've had quite a few cold fronts for the year. Is there any phenomena to describe why that's happening or to explain why that's happening?
Well, this is the winter. This is this is our winter.
Right, winter.
So we get, so we will get, the cold fronts are coming through, and no more usual than others. We're getting a lot more rainfall in them. We had a lot of rainfall in them last year, and now we're seeing the same thing happen. That's a few days ago. You saw we had a lot of rain from one of the fronts, and so it's just this time of the year. And eventually now we are going into spring, and we'll be transitioning into our real summer.
Do you see any trends or things to expect as it relates to storm season?
Well, with the hurricane season, with the hurricanes, you know, we have different things that we look at, El Nino, the La Nina, and all of those, and how they are behaving during the summer months, during the hurricane season. And from that, we actually make a prediction, okay? But the thing about it, you know, it doesn't matter whether we say we have an active or an inactive season. All you really need is one storm. You know, one hurricane affecting one particular place can really do a lot of devastation. And like I said, you know, earlier, the prediction is out there, and the evidence is clear that these hurricanes are becoming more intense. So, you know, and the thing about it is that with a hurricane, a country like ours, and that's the reason why you see Abaco is still trying to rebound. You know, you just don't rebound from a Dorian in a year or two. It takes up to at least a decade to really come back. And the danger in that is that you can experience another one or two during that decade. So, you know, so these are the things that we are fighting in the international arena, trying to sensitize first world countries, those emitters, what we are up against and what we are dealing with as a people.
Is there anything that you'd like to encourage the public with as we celebrate this World Meteorological Day?
Well, we just want to say to the public that, you know, we put out our forecast every day this time of the year, and then we come into the hurricane season. So now I just want to say to the public, like we always do, NEMA would have their month of hurricane preparedness in May. But I'd like to tell the Bahamian people that we should be preparing for hurricane all during the off season, okay? And it takes just doing a little at a time. You don't have to wait until we issue a warning that a hurricane is on us to try to panic and go and try to buy some canned foods or trying to buy some plywood. Take your time and buy them now during this off season. Buy them piece by piece that you know you will need, so that if we are ever attacked by a hurricane, and it's not if, it's when we are, right, that you will be fully prepared. So May is not only the time to prepare, we should be preparing from January to June.
I love that. That's an excellent admonition for the people. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Wouldn't it be satisfying to own your own piece of paradise? The most important investment you can make in your life is real estate, and Fidelity has the solution for you. You could become the owner of a home or a lot on any of our beautiful islands. Come and talk to a loan officer and inquire about how you can fund your goals with a loan today. Because we know it means a lot to own a lot. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit any of our branches, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau, or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back. If you need to improve your public speaking, you should check out The Secret Sauce, Public Speaking Demystified, which is coming up next month. Quincy Parker, Eloquence founder and communications strategist, joins us to tell us more. Good morning, Quincy, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Morning, Gabrielle. Thank you very kindly for the invitation, and thank you for having me.
Of course. So I've heard that public speaking is the #1 fear in the world, I think barring or maybe even beyond the fear of death. Why are people so afraid to talk in public?
That is a complicated question. The answer generally lies, and it's sort of, you're sort of asking for the secret sauce kind of right away.
In advance.
But most people who are afraid of public speaking are, in one form or another, afraid of embarrassment. Mm-hmm. They're afraid of looking unprepared. They're afraid of looking like they don't know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. They're afraid that something about them will make the audience laugh or turn the audience off. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I want to address in the seminar is the fact of your own preparedness for the task at hand. Usually, when it comes to public speaking, you don't volunteer. Usually, you're asked to speak, and just a little sort of a tip in advance. One of the reasons that that's an important thing to realize is because if somebody asks you to speak, mm-hmm. the assumption already is that they already think you have something to say.
Yes.
So they are already on your side. They're already sitting there ready to hear and learn from you. So once you can realize sort of the negative inner monologue that is really preying on all of your fears and insecurities, you see that public speaking really is not it's not a horrible, terrible thing. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like any other thing. And you can learn skills and tools and techniques to become great at it, just like any other thing.
Wow. It's so interesting that you said, you know, people are asking me to speak because I have something to say, because in my own life, I've actually used that as a mantra, quite literally. When I have felt insecure, it's like, no, I'm speaking because somebody here thinks I have something to say. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So in terms of the seminar, you know, what can people expect to experience?
So the seminar is a 2-hour get together, a real deep dive on sort of the mechanics of communication, and the secret sauce part is sort of at the end when we kind of look into the purposes and rationale for why you as a person should be confident about your ability to put a message across in a public speaking forum, in terms of considering why public speaking is important. You know, it is a way to form communications, form connections, excuse me. It's a way to influence people and the decisions that they make, which to me is really important. And for people who own businesses or people who are the spokespersons for non-government organizations, or people who lead teams in any way, public speaking can help you with motivating other people, right? A lot of people think of public speaking as getting up and making a speech in a public forum, but that's only one aspect of it. Public speaking is any time an individual has to address a group.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so terrifying, because it can happen at any time and in any place. And so the seminar is all about preparing people for the ability to not be terrified and to speak publicly with confidence and grace, based on the fact that, well, based on the secret sauce.
Yeah, I love it. So in terms, who needs the secret sauce? Who is the ideal candidate to attend your event?
Anybody who makes a living from talking. Anyone who has an idea to pitch, or they're trying to motivate a particular community to act. Anyone who has a position to put forward in a persuasive way. So we're talking people from the NGO community. We're talking people from the education sector. We're talking people from the political arena. We're talking, you know, pretty much anyone who makes a living talking. Public relations and marketing professionals as well. You know, I also think, for me, one of my secret hopes is that people from the religious sector come. I think that their brand of public speaking is incredibly important, and I would love to be able to get in there and mix up in that and help to strengthen that ability in those people.
I love it. What is your hope that people who attend, what do you want them to leave with?
I want them to leave with a sense that there is no reason for them personally to be afraid of public speaking. I want them to leave with an understanding of the mechanics of communication, how it works, why it works, and how they as an individual can manipulate their experiences and their life to share that in a way that is effective and meets their objectives. Their objectives being either to connect, to inform, to motivate, whatever the goal is. I mean, think about it like this. If you are a business leader, you're a small business leader, or you're in charge of a team at a big business, and you sit around in a staff meeting, and you make this amazing presentation on a new way of doing a particular thing. You go out, your team makes the change, and all of a sudden the business becomes 20% more profitable because of the way you pivoted in your section. That's the kind of impact that positive public speaking will have on, or could have, let me rephrase, I can't make any promises.
Yes.
Could have on your life. So I think that ultimately I just want people to walk away confident in their ability to speak publicly.
I love that. Now, of course, we need to know where, when, and how much.
Yes. It is 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock at Crypto Isle, which is Green Shutters East Bay, where Luciano's restaurant used to be.
Yes.
It is, and then we have a sort of a cocktail reception right after, where the first drink is free for people who attended the seminar. It is $150 to register, and you can register by going to cryptoisle.com, or you can email me at Quincy Parker. That's QuincyParker at eloquencellc.com. That's ELOQUINCELLC.com. Or if you know me personally and you want to reach out, you know how to reach me at all of my socials.
Now, I didn't get the date in there.
April 1st.
April 1st.
I could have sworn, yes. April 1st at 2 p.m. at the Crypto Isle teaching facility on East Bay.
Okay, so don't be an April Fool on April Fool's Day. Come to the secret sauce so that you can learn how to be confident.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure lots of people will attend this event, and I think it's really going to be helpful.
Thank you very kindly, Gabrielle, and I look forward to reading your next book, especially the one that we were talking about. God bless.
Yes, and I have to learn more of the secret sauce. Just because you do this doesn't mean that there's not ways to improve. So I definitely look forward to learning from you.
Thank you very kindly.
All right, and thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Menu, it's digital, so customers, once they come in, they have to scan the menu. Due to the space size, customers were unable to connect. It was unstable. Customers were very irate. They couldn't see what we offered, so sometimes we had customers that left, and now we don't have that issue. Customers are easily accessing the menu on the website. So now it's a smooth process, and ordering is much easier. Installing the Euromesh was easy as 1, 2, 3.
It has been another fantastic Friday on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've had a great show covering just so many spheres of life. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Of course, we were missing my partner in crime, Mark Daniels. Once again, we are just praying that he will feel better soon and be able to join us on Monday. I have to shout out the Peachy Flamingo, my wardrobe sponsor. I got some wonderful compliments today on my casual chic outfit. You definitely want to check them out. They are in the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and make it a great weekend. Take advantage of the outdoors and experience the Bahamas as a form of therapy. We'll see you on Monday.